We are just over a week away from the Strongman Classic, which means only one thing, it's prediction time. Auntie Liz, just over a week till the Strongman Classic. We've had a little bit of a break from Strongman, but it is back. And back with a bang. This is such an incredible lineup for this show.
I am so excited for this show. One, because it has been far too long. Two, it's such a good venue and such a good show at the Royal Albert Hall. But yes, the lineup, the events, I'm really excited for this.
Very quickly, let's go through the lineup because obviously, if you didn't know already, Alexei Novikov has withdrawn from the competition. So now the lineup is as follows. Mitch Hooper, Tom Stoltman, Evan Singleton, Rongo Keane, Spencer Remick, Kevin Ferris, Trey Mitchell replacing Alexei, Ian Bibby, Pavlo Kordiaka, Luke Stoltman, Eddie Williams and Pavlo Nekonechny.
How exciting is this? We've got the current World's Strongest Man, the former World's Strongest Man. We've got the current Europe's Strongest Man, the former Europe's Strongest Man, and some really good names in there. Evan Singleton.
That is an amazing lineup.
Yes.
Absolutely amazing lineup. And the events we're looking at are the Nicol Stones, the Super Yoke, the Deadlift, the Viking Press and Atlas Stones. And as we always say, events are very important. So we need to look deep into these events.
To dive deep.
And with this athlete lineup, let's start off with the Nicol Stones, because Nicol Stones are an event that not many people will have done before. We do know some of these athletes have used them before, and Kevin Ferris has the record on them.
Yeah, so actually quite a few of these athletes have done the Nicol Stones in the past, and yeah, like you say, Kevin Ferris is the current world record holder. Behind him is Mitch Hooper, who, I mean, was it 4 guys? Yeah, it was 4, because also Paul Smith and Andy Black. All 4 of them broke the record at the World Tour Finals last year. So just behind Kevin Ferris is Mitch Hooper. Evan Singleton did them back in 2021 and he got a distance of 21 metres, which puts him behind Mitch, but ahead of the likes of Luke Stoltman, who was a former record holder on this event, and Tom Stoltman as well. Eddie Williams is good at these. A couple of interesting guys that we haven't seen. Ian Bibby.
Yeah, Ian Bibby's got an incredible grip, but just having done these types of stones before, I can't see him being that good at these. And the reason being is because his legs are ginormous. And the problem with these walking stones is as he walks, his legs are going to be bashing them constantly.
Might actually get in the way.
If he can somehow get them locked in there and is patient, I think he can be good. But it depends if he's practiced, and I think the grip isn't the issue.
No.
It's going to be how much he can control the stones. And that's just something people, unless you've had a go with them, everyone thinks, oh, it's just grip. But to be honest, you want to use a hook grip. So your original thought of grip is a little bit different on these. It's being able to move smoothly is the most important thing. And I'm just concerned that Ian Bibby won't be able to do that.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. And a couple of guys who have done this and it didn't go so well for them is the 2 Ukrainian athletes, Pavlo Nekonechny and Pavlo Kordiaka. But
I've seen videos of Kordiaka training on this. He's looking a lot better.
Yeah.
And it is one of those events that once you've got a feel for it, you can make solid improvements on it.
Yeah, and neither of them used a hook grip last year, which was a big mistake as they found out. So interested to see what they can do now.
Absolutely.
So predictions for this event. I can't see anyone beating Kevin, personally.
Kevin will be the favourite, and I'm guessing as he's the record holder, they'll probably let him go out last
They
as well.
will let him go
So
out
he'll
last.
have that advantage. But I'd be looking out for Evan, Kevin, Mitch Hooper. They would be my big favourites. I think the Stoltmans, they've only done it once, I believe, in competition, and they both did pretty well.
At Giants Live, they've actually done it before in like Highland Game type events.
So they've got that experience. I think they can both do pretty well as well.
Yeah.
And we may see a couple of surprises, but I would expect those guys to be dominating on this one.
Then we've got what's going to be, I think, the most interesting event of all, the Super Yoke. Just because there's been a little bit of back and forth between Evan and Mitch Hooper about who is the best yoker. Do we call them yokers?
It's an interesting one because Evan has been training with a vengeance on this competition. He's training on the kit. He's kind of 100% disciplined, preparing as much as he can. Mitch Hooper, on the other hand, is collabing with a lot of people. He's making the most of being the world's strongest man. His travel and his work schedule is ridiculous right now. So I would always say, if Mitch was coming to this as his prep was for World's Strongest Man, Mitch wins the yoke against anyone, and I still will back him. Yeah. But I think the kind of times will be closer than perhaps if it was the perfect prep for Mitch Hooper.
Yeah.
That being said, he's so talented at this event.
It's just one of those natural talents that training doesn't become. It's not as important.
What I'm hoping for as a fan, taking relationships and everything else out of this, it would be good to see them head to head.
It would be good, and it's possible, but that would mean someone else would have to beat them on the Nicol stones, and then they go up against Kevin.
So if we can make this happen where they go head to head on this event,
good to see, yeah.
Because the reason being that when you're head to head, there is elements of pressure.
Yeah.
When it's just one at a time, you just focus on yourself, and you've got that advantage of maybe knowing what time to beat. But when you're head to head, there's someone in your peripheral, and it can be off-putting. So that would make it more interesting. I actually think if it was head to head, it would suit Mitch over.
I think Mitch can keep his cool better than Evan.
I think, but they're both super fast. Would probably. They would be my favourites for first and second.
They're first and second, barring anything.
I will say, in the past, Iron Bibby's very, very good.
Bibby's brilliant at yoke, yes.
So he shouldn't be kind of neglected. The only issue I have with Iron Bibby is I just don't know from recent performance what kind of shape he's in.
No.
I'm hoping he's in good shape, and if he is, then we're in for an exciting race.
Yeah, and Iron Bibby can absolutely hang with those two as well on his best days on a yoke.
He's very, very quick. Very quick indeed. And like the Stoltmans have made good progress on these type of events. So
Trey Mitchell's decent at yoke, but he's a bit like Brian. If it's a lot heavier, that actually suits him better.
I think
because he's not the fastest.
The heavier you go, the better it is for Trey, definitely.
Yeah, and then Pavlo Cordiaca is decent at yoke.
I've not seen too much of Pavlo Cordiaca on the yoke.
No, to be honest, it's not been in the top level competitions that we've seen him do it, but Pavlo Nekonechny not so good at yoke. It's not one of his good events.
Interesting. So the next event is the deadlift, and you say Pavlo Nekonechny isn't so good at super yoke. We know he's an amazing deadlifter.
We do indeed, and apart from the Arnold's where he picked up an injury this year, he has been pretty untouchable in the last couple of deadlifts that he's done.
And I would say he definitely goes in as the favourite.
Yeah.
But Mitch Hooper's deadlift has kind of been incredible recently.
Yeah.
Tom Stoltman's a very good deadlifter. Evan Singleton's deadlift's been looking very, very strong in training. Trey Mitchell is a very, very big deadlifter. I would say those four, probably somewhere placing probably behind Pavlo. Obviously, we saw the mistake he made and the knee injury at the Arnold, so could be a question mark into how good a shape he's in. But you would say, all things being normal, Pavlo Nekonechny probably the favourite for the deadlift.
Yeah.
And then I reckon Mitch Hooper will take second.
Yeah.
And then I think Tom and Evan could be pretty close.
I think it would be close between those three, to be honest. Mitch, Tom and Evan. Now, this can be a slightly dangerous event for the likes of Kevin, who you expect to do very well on the Nicol stones. Yeah. Luke Stoltman, deadlift is notoriously one of his poor events. Pavlo Cordiaca also.
And it's going to be really interesting because this isn't a lineup with the whole field being a stacked deadlift field.
No.
You've got those kind of guys that we've mentioned, but then you've got, I think, Pavlo, Luke, Kevin, Spencer, even Iron Bibby, they're all close.
Yeah.
And it could come down to who can get that extra rep on the day. So I think it's a much better field of deadlifters for the likes of Luke Stoltman.
Yeah, because sometimes if he's in one of the hardest competitions, you look at it and you think he's going to be right near the bottom, but that might actually not be the case.
I actually think he could pick up a mid-table place on the deadlift here, which would make it good for the overall competition. But a lot of the guys will be in that situation. Pavlo Cordiaca needs a good deadlift. Yeah. Kevin needs a good deadlift. Luke Stoltman needs a good deadlift. So could be a really interesting event. Then we have the Viking press.
This is another very interesting event because, Evan loves this event. He won this event in the 2021 World Opens.
And have you seen the training videos of him on this?
Yes, he's looking very
claiming to have destroyed world records.
And I don't doubt it. I'm not sure he should be destroying world records in training, but that's another conversation. But there are some massive overhead presses here. However, not sure it's going to suit them. The likes of Iron Bibby. Now, Iron Bibby, if you watch him do a press, he has one of the widest grips where you can vary your grip that I've ever seen. And I don't know that this narrower outward-facing Viking press is going to suit him.
Yeah, it's a very, very good point to bring up. Iron Bibby is one of the widest human you've ever met.
Yeah,
His shoulders are literally ridiculous. and because the Viking press is fixed, it may cause him problems. He's going to be he's going to feel kind of constricted in there.
Yeah.
Could definitely cause him problems. But I'd be looking out for Evan Singleton. I'd be looking at Trey Mitchell. He's a very good presser.
Yeah.
I think Pavlo Kordiaka's explosive power will
I think he's going to be brilliant on this. I mean, he won the log ladder in his group at Worlds. He won the log ladder at Europe's Strongest Man.
But it's not a log.
It's not a log, I know that. But he's, like you say, he's a really explosive, snappy, dynamic athlete.
I actually think the way he lifts and that explosiveness will be beneficial on this.
Yeah.
Mitch Hooper's never done a Viking press, which is amazing.
Interesting.
His pressing's improved a lot. So, it's going to be a different implement for him to get used to, but I think his sheer athleticism and pressing power has improved so much.
What about Luke and Tom?
Luke is a machine when it comes to pressing, could be a very, very good event for him. But Tom as well, the Viking press, although he's so tall, it requires that explosive as well. And he's quite a good athlete. So depends, there's a lot of good presses on this one. I think Evan will probably go in as the favourite.
Evan could go in as the favourite. I think Pavlo Kordiaka has the potential to cause an upset.
Yep.
I expect Mitch to be good at it because
it's Mitch.
Mitch is good at everything. But yeah, lots of ifs and buts in that
I think
one.
Pavlo Nekonechny potentially drops points on this one.
Well, he did okay when they did it in the 2021 World Final. I think he got, not World Final, World Open. I think he got 9 reps.
I think we're going to need more than 9 in this competition.
We are going to need more, yeah.
I think, because it's, you say Evan shouldn't be breaking records in training, and sometimes I'd agree with you, but the Viking press and Viking press implements vary greatly.
They do, yeah.
This is one that hasn't been used that often in competition, and we're starting to see the athletes get better at it. So I think the fact that he's used it so much, that's a big advantage. Just knowing exactly where to be in terms of where your feet should be, where your hands should be. Having that familiarization on the kit does make a difference, and it will be an advantage for Evan. So he's going to be hard to beat on that one.
Yeah.
And then we finish with the Atlas stones, and we've got a number of great stone lifters in this lineup.
We do, yeah. Obviously, Tom Stoltman, almost untouchable on Atlas stones. Trey Mitchell is absolutely brilliant at Atlas stones. Pavlo Nekonechny is very good. Luke Stoltman's good. Evan's good. I mean, they're all so familiar with this set of Atlas stones as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a fast, run, I would say, on these stones. I'm not sure if they're using the heavier set or the lighter set, but I think regardless, it'll be fast. I
really hope they use the heavy set, because the guys haven't competed for a while, so there's none of this, the guys are beat up.
Sure.
Sort of talk, is there?
No,
I would like them
and
to
when you
use
look
the
at the
heavy
standard
set.
of lifters in there, they're still going to be quick on a 200 kilo run.
Of course
and
they
I think
will.
we want to see that stone go up. But I think Tom Stoltman is always the favourite when it comes to a set of stones. Mitch Hooper did amazing at the stones at the final of World's Strongest Man. Trey Mitchell, hell of a stone lifter. Evan's very good on these.
Pavlo Nekonechny is very good.
Yeah, this could be a weaker event again for Iron Bibby. He's not a huge fan of Atlas stones. So we'll see. It's going to be an interesting one. But you start looking at the events, and then you start thinking about who is consistently being spoken about. I've got a top 5 in my head. Do you want me to kind of chuck it out?
Yeah.
So I think this competition is going to be a real battle between Evan Singleton and Mitch Hooper.
I
really do. I think Evan wants this. He's hungry for it. But I spoke to Mitch just yesterday, and he said he's coming to win.
Yeah.
He's not, as busy as he is, he's still coming to win.
Evan's training on the kit, which is a massive
an
advantage.
attitude that I love. But I will back my man. He's been incredible for the last however many comps.
Yeah.
Mitch Hooper to take the win. Evan Singleton to come second. I believe Tom Stoltman comes in third. I think Trey Mitchell will get fourth.
Yeah.
And I think Luke Stoltman could get fifth in this. I think when we look at the events, Nicol stones he's very solid at, yoke he's solid at, deadlift, we talk about weaknesses, but again, when you look at the whole lineup, I think he can get a decent mid-table placing on the deadlift. Viking press he could potentially win. He's an amazing presser.
Yeah.
If he's comfortable on that machine, there's no reason why he can't. I think it just depends. Has he had some practice on it?
Yeah.
And then Atlas stones, he's very solid as well. So I think we can see a good performance from Luke Stoltman in this one.
I think it could. I agree with you up until fifth, where I think it could be Pavlo Kordiaka.
I knew you'd say Pavlo, just because he's handsome.
Just because he's handsome, and it gives me an excuse to put his picture on the screen. I think he would have improved a lot on the Nicol stones. He's good at yoke. He's similar to Luke on the deadlift, so
Sure.
they'll have the same sort of score there. Viking press, I honestly think he could be really, really, really good at the Viking press. Yeah, I like. Actually, when I think about it, probably Luke maybe scores more points overall than Pavlo. But Pavlo
Who
Nicol,
knows?
it's really
there's
hard.
athletes we're not talking about there that are all very good,
Yeah.
and you never know when it comes to comp. But this is the fun thing.
Yes.
We got to put our predictions in. Are you going to agree with me? Are you going to go with Pavlo for that 5th spot? Go on.
Yeah, go on. I can't be exactly the same as you. I'll take Pavlo.
There we go.
There we go.
We're pretty much the same
Yeah.
with a different 5th place.
Yeah.
Let us know your thoughts, guys. What do you think of the events? Who's going to win the individual events? Who's going to win the whole competition? Are you coming to the Strongman Classic? I think it's sold out. So
It did sell out.
It sold
a
out
while
pretty
ago,
quickly,
yeah.
but there is the live stream. Auntie Liz will put the link in the description
Yes.
below. It's over on Official Strongman.
Yeah.
Myself and Terry Hollins will be doing the commentating for that. But if you can't make the event, tune in. It's going to be amazing. We hope you all enjoy it. We're going to have fun being there.
Yeah,
It's
I
an
can't wait
amazing
to get
venue.
there. Chomping at the
Been
bit.
for the last few years,
Yeah.
and it's always a great show. So, the Strongman Classic is becoming a staple of the Strongman calendar.